Hello, in this lecture, we're going to discuss Daoism. We're going to discuss first philosophical Daoism. We're going to discuss origins, core ideas, Daoist attitudes and approaches, contrast between philosophical Daoism and Confucianism. Then we're going to discuss religious Daoism. We're going to discuss origins and practices of religious Daoism. Philosophical Daoism, origins. For the historical background of philosophical Daoism, it is quite similar to the historical background for Confucianism. We have already discussed the historical background for Confucianism, but here I'd like to compete some of these crucial facts. The first Chinese dynasty with written history is the Shang dynasty from 1600 to 1046 BC. The Shang dynasty was followed by the Zhou dynasty from 1046 to 256 BC. But the Zhou dynasty can be divided into two periods. The Western Zhou dynasty, when the capital of the dynasty is in a western location in Xi'an. The Eastern Zhou dynasty, that is when the capital moved to a eastern location, Luoyang. The Western Zhou dynasty was a time of peace and prosperity, and seems to be going well. The Eastern Zhou dynasty, during this period of time, things collapsed. We see the chaos and the collapse of social orders, and we see the rise of local lords, and so a lot of wars and the killings. The Eastern Zhou dynasty itself can be divided into two sub-periods: spring and autumn period and the warring state period. The spring and the autumn period saw the rise of many small states. They fought each other and the wars. And the warring states period saw that many small states eventually consolidate into 7 large states. Okay. The founders of philosophical Daoism, Lao Tzu, which we're going to see in the next slide, lived largely in the spring and autumn period. And another scholars who also contribute significantly to the philosophical Daoism live largely in the late warring state period. So on this map, we can really see the degree of political fragmentation during the spring and autumn period. On this map, each blue character indicate a state during the spring and autumn period. So during this chaos, many scholars and politicians rose to the challenge of the time. They tried to make effort to find a solution to the problem of the time, and they tried to find a way, find some theories, approaches, ideas to end the chaos and restore order in the Eastern Zhou dynasty. We mentioned before that Confucianism represents one such effort. In the same way, philosophical Daoism also represents such an effort by people like Lao Tzu and Zhuangzi. Here we bring these two people. So we can really say that the philosophical Daoism is closely tied to this person Lao Tzu or Lao Tzu, depending upon how you Romanize this Chinese character. We explained this word before, zi or zu. This zi is a Chinese way of addressing someone with great knowledge in a very respectable way. So one say somebody is Kongzi or Confucius Zi, that means master Kong. Here for Lao Tzu, that means old master. Lao is Chinese word means Lao, so old master, old master. And Zhuangzi would be master Zhuang. Okay, so now Lao Tzu wrote this book. Daoism is one of the major works in philosophical Daoism. It is said that Lao Tzu worked in a library, worked as a director of a library in a little kingdom. After a while, he quit his job, and he began to just want to travel away to somewhere, and he rode on this yellow ox. When he come to the western part of China, he come upon a kind of a military gate. The director of the chief who guards the gate stopped him, saying that would you write down all you know in the book for me? And then he was reluctant, but he stayed there for a few days, wrote this book, Daoism. After he wrote this book, he just get on this yellow ox and went on his journey to the west. Eventually, vanished. Nobody know where he went. So this is a major book in philosophical Taoism. Zhuangzi also wrote a book. He had some essays compiled into a book called Zhuangzi. It's here. Okay. So both scholars make important contribution to philosophical Taoism. Now, the Taoism obviously closely related to this word Tao. So let's first try to understand what does this word Tao mean. The Tao, I use this DAO as Tao, but in some other writings, you may see in other articles and books, you may see people use Tao. So this is how to Romanize the Chinese character. In the past, people more books and articles use Tao. This is how people Romanize this word Tao in the past. But more recent publications, people are using Dao. It's exactly how the Chinese use this word, use this spelling. So I use this Dao in this lecture. Okay. So Dao as a Chinese word can be directly translated into road, path. That's a direct translation. But you can expand the meaning of Dao, interpret that also as way, the way of doing things, the methods and the modes. Then you can expand the meaning a little bit more. It may mean principles that underline the working of a particular process, such as the Tao of tea, the Tao of arts. Those Tao, the methods or principle in a particular profession, particular work. But also you can expand this to mean not just within a particular process, particular profession. It means everything in the universe, the mechanism underpinning all things in the universe. So the Tao of the universe is inherent order of the universe. It's a natural order, the way nature is. Why the sun rises in the east and set in the west. That's the thing, that's the nature is, that's the way nature is. Why summer is hot and winter is cold. That's the way nature is. And this is really how people answer questions such as why the summer is hot and winter is cold. That's the way nature is. this kind of answer make a lot of sense, especially in the past, that we do not have enough scientific knowledge to know the details of how the universe works. So that's how you generally answer people, and that's the way nature is. That's the way the universe works. Okay. But also, the way nature is can be expanded to not only include the natural world, but also the social world as well. And therefore, we have the same, the way things are. Here, things not only include things in the natural world, in the universe, but also include things that happen in social, human society within different cultures. Okay. So as you can see in our discussion, Taoism in many ways is inspired by nature. The Taoists observe nature and see how things happen in nature. From the movement in nature, they are inspired, and eventually that's how they summarize many fundamental principles in philosophical Taoism. Even the Taoist painting also weigh heavily on nature. You can really see that in their painting largely is a reflection of their perception of nature. Okay. So we defined the concept of Tao. Now let's move on to the core ideas of philosophical Taoism. Now, this is very straightforward. The core ideas of philosophical Taoism is this two words, Wu Wei. Wu Wei. How we translate Wu Wei into English, if we directly translate Wu Wei into English, it literally means do nothing, do nothing, no action, inaction, do nothing. But actually, therefore, one way to translate is non-being, non-being. But it's actually not actually doing nothing. It's with human in living on Earth, you always do something. You always have something to do with some kind of purpose. So people always do something. So it's not really you're not doing anything. You're doing something, but you're doing something. But the way you do it, it appears that you're not doing anything. So you can also translate Wu Wei as effortless action. So you are doing something, but it seems like you are doing this without much effort. Appear to be taking non-purposeful action. So there is action, but just the way you do it give people an impression that you are not doing it. So action by non-action. I'm doing it, but it appears that I'm not doing it. So I'm doing it effortlessly. Okay, action by non-action. So I do things in such a way that the people perceive that I really do it very easily. Okay, so that is the meaning of Wu Wei. Okay. So literally it seems to be doing nothing, but actually we are doing something, but appears that we're not doing it. Okay. So action by non-action maybe is more accurate translation that really help us to understand the meaning of Wu Wei. The opposite to Wu Wei is Yu Wei, that is being. You take deliberate action, make purposeful effort, have a clear goals in your life, actively pursue some desire and gain control. So you can really understand Wu Wei by understanding what is Yu Wei. So after you understand Yu Wei, Wu Wei in a way is opposite to Yu Wei. So Wu Wei and Yu Wei are two aspects of Tao, but of the two, non-being or Wu Wei is really a preferred approach. Now let's look at this particular concept, water. Water is a very favorable metaphor by philosophical Daoism. They use water as a metaphor for wu wei, or for non-being. Okay. Water, we know, is something that really does not have any shape of its own. You put water in a ball, it takes the shape of a ball. You put the water in a glass, take the shape of a glass. You put water in a bottle, it takes the shape of a bottle. So water seems to be really easy going, laid back, really kind of relaxed, really subtle, not really ostentatious, not something like that. It's quiet, soft, take whatever shape that you put it in, but it appeared to be very weak. But water, we know, is a very powerful agent. Water can cut through the hardest rock on Earth. Look at the Grand Canyon. You give it enough time, and one drop water after another drop, eventually it cut the whole region into a big Grand Canyon. And you can really see this subtle, quiet subject actually has lot of power, and that really helps us to understand what is action by non-action. Action, you can really see water cut the whole area into a Grand Canyon. You do see action, but by non-action, one drop at a time, you don't really see it. It is happening, but after millions of years, you see a huge Grand Canyon was there. Action by non-action. It seems to be effortless action. So that is a good way to understand what is wu wei. Okay, so I'd like you guys to understand the core idea of philosophical Taoism is this wu wei, a non-being approach about things.